You've waited a lifetime to look better and feel better, and now here's your chance. Fitness Friday on WNDB. Call 239-0033 and have your questions answered on health, fitness, and a better life. Fitness Friday is brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, 1140 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. And now, here's your host, Tasso Kyriakis.
So, Dave, do you remember about a year ago this time, we
Yesterday at this time.
oh my goodness, are you getting old? About a year ago this time, we were at Bodez. You know, this year, I told my staff, this year's theme is we got to be wowzalicious, okay? You know the hometown business network that they have, Sean has in town, fellow Sean? There you go. And so I went to one of their things at the first of the year. They wanted you to write up like what you were proud of that you did in 2012, and it was really sort of neat to go do, you know. And I thought you guys thought I had a lot of energy. That guy Sean is like, well, maybe he's just a lot younger than me. I don't know. So Stillman Rice, my old buddy that was there with us, and Stillman and actually Mike Multane from here was there, and so. Stillman finally got me to go up and say what, you know, my word of the year was and what I was happy for and that type of thing for 2012. And I went up and did my little thing. And the word I had in mind was wowzalicious. Because what I want our club to be, what I want Bodez by Tasso and Company to be for people is a thing that puts wow back in your life. You know, that you get in the morning and say, wow, I got the energy to go through this day. You know, wow, I'm just ready to I'm ready to go. I want to have a happy day. But if you go back about a year ago, we were playing with the theme of, you know, get healthy, be happy, be prosperous. You know, we talked about this happy, healthy, wealthy, and we never could get it to work, you know, kind of deal. It's like we'd have it, and then we go like, okay, wait a minute, maybe it sounds better like this. It just never stuck like this word wowzalicious is sticking for us. So I went back to that thing because really, what are we trying to do if we're going to work out? What do we want out of every day? Well, I think, you know, today I have several friends. It's their birthdays. I have Zach that's turning 21 that works for us. I have my college roommate turns 59 or 60 today. I can't remember. Remember Michelle Paoli that used to work for me and went and opened her own little health club on the West Coast. She turns something today. You know, so you know I got up. I called these guys and every time I made this phone call, I just had such memories of happiness with them, you know. And I was telling Dave, I said, hey, Dave, I said, you know, remember when we were getting ready this time of year to get ready to go to the national championships, and we'd be getting up at 6 in the morning and running in this cold weather and wondering what the heck we're doing running in the cold weather. You were wondering what the heck you did coming down from New York where, you know, you wanted to be in Florida instead, and that's why you came here to wrestle. And, you know, Michelle, I was remembering times with her, and I thought about that, and, you know, it brings up these feelings of happiness that we tie to. But, you know, we tend, those phone calls, you tend to try and remember, you realize that our youth, you know, our fitness program, a lot of times for the people who are in the age group that listen to this radio station, it's about sort of recapturing our youth. We want to be healthy. We want to be vibrant. We want to be virile. We want to be vigorous in what we can do. We don't want, you know, my mom just passed away. In the last 3 years of her life, we're miserable for it. You know why? Because this is a woman that had plenty of vim and vigor her whole life. She got up in the morning and she ran her restaurant or her gift shop, and she cooked. You know, a week before she went into the hospital, she was still cooking for me when I come home. She was worried about what I was going to eat when I got home, right? And she was cooking. I go, Mom, I said, you know, but you know, she became unhappy when she had to sit all day long because she didn't have the energy. She didn't have the strength. So what are we trying to do in a fitness program? Well, yeah, we're trying to get slimmer. We're trying to but really at the core of it, we're trying to become happy. You know, we're trying to enjoy every day to its maximum. And so I wrote down some things about happiness today because I really like that theme of, you know, get fit, get healthy, get happy, because you really can't be happy. And you just really can't be happy until you're healthy. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so anyway, happiness. Learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue what you want. Now, what you want, I want to go back and I want to sort of put a little thought process to this. And I want you to remember, Dave, you remember that one of my favorite motivational speakers besides Zig Ziglar is a guy named Les Brown. Remember Les Brown? He's a great guy. He said one time, he said, what your life will be like when you achieve your deeply held dreams begins to open up that door to happiness. And so he said, in order to accomplish these dreams, he asks these questions of you. He says, do you have a dream or a vision of your life that you wish to live? Now, this all loops back into what we talked about last week about starting a victory journal. I think it's very important for us to have, if you open up my thing here, Dave, hold on. I got my journal with me. I've got my journal in there with me.
You actually use pen and paper.
Yes, because you got to put it to pen and paper. It says, how specific is that dream? I have dreams that's if I have a weakness, I don't make my dreams or my goals specific enough. It says, how clear is that vision? How do you intend to reach it? What obstacles stand in your way? Are your fears holding you back and keeping you from moving forward? Because, your fears can lead to your success, or they can take away from your success. Because, when I evaluate a person that comes in for a one-on-one program with us, Dave, one of the things I do with them is I try to appraise, from talking to them, I say, well, let me first put you in a category of what you think about yourself from a fitness perspective. And there's pretty much three groups of people. There is the person who comes in, and it's like my triathletes that I trained last night. These guys are thoroughbreds. They're elite athletes, man. They get after it. But if you ask them and said, hey, how you doing today? They say, I need to work harder. I'm not in the best shape I can be in. I know I can be better. They're in great shape, but they know they can be better. So that's a thoroughbred, okay? They understand they're going to come in, and if I don't work them out hard that day, they're going to be mad at me. When they come in for their very first workout, if you don't work them out hard, they don't think that you're a good trainer. The second person is a phoenix, that mythical bird that comes out of the flames, has 500 years of life, comes back down and dies down in the flames, and then re-rises again. Okay? That's the phoenix. You guys who are phoenix, you're like, I'm a phoenix, I think. I don't think I'm a thoroughbred. Because I always remember, this is what I want to be. I used to be like this. Remember when I could do this? Back when I was in college, I could do this. In high school, I did this. We have a standard that we know we can achieve. We know we can get to. So we look for that. And that's what sort of drives our motivation fitness-wise. The third one is the person who really doesn't have hope. They don't understand the hope of fitness, and that's the chrysalis. Because when a caterpillar goes into its little cocoon, it doesn't know that it's going to open up that cocoon and be this beautiful butterfly. It doesn't know that potential that it has. It knows it innately. I think all of us know innately. But those people, we've talked in the past about RAS, reticular activating system. We've talked about EEM, experiential emotional memories, and we've talked about the PFC, the prefrontal cortex, which the RAS is what we are conscious of out there. Like the example I always use is we bought a new car, and we now notice that everybody has a car like us, right? Okay, we never noticed it before. And the second part is the EEM. That's what we learn through experience, and that can be good, that can be bad. But the EEM is what many times protects us, but also holds us back. Okay. Because we have this memory history behind us. All of you that are on weight loss programs or New Year's resolutions, you have a history there that unfortunately most of the time is driven by an unhappy, unfulfilled memory, okay? Because I used to say in Healthy Inspirations, so many women would come to Healthy Inspirations, and their logic of getting involved in that program was, well, I've tried everything else and failed at everything else. I might as well try this so I leave no stone unturned. When really changing the mindset was important. Now that EEM is very powerful because we have to get that EEM to see what the PFC will bring in, which is hope. The reality and the expectation to become something. And so many people don't have that. And quite honestly, not to knock other fitness centers and things like that, we've tried to set a structure up that when you bring that hope with you, we have a little more support to deliver it. That's why they're a little more expensive. Those clubs that are out there that charge $10 or $19 or open 24 hours, they have the same equipment. It essentially does the same stuff. We have a stuff that's a little, like no one has medics like we have except for the doctor's office with Dr. Fulton. You know, no one has the Psi Fitness there except cardiac rehab programs, you know, and doctors' offices. So, with the exception of those two pieces of equipment, I mean, everybody offers what's the thing? Zumba. Everybody offers yoga. Everybody offers Pilates. It's some nature and group exercise. We don't because it just wasn't our deal, kind of deal. Maybe it wasn't the smartest move I ever made, but I made it. Okay, so the point I'm getting to is that I look at this chrysalis and I say I have to find out how to instill that drive of hope. So the second thing that I do when I've got that look of I sort of know where they're at is try and find how do they learn? Do they learn through actually doing it? Do they learn from hearing it? Do they learn from seeing? Are they visual? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic and they learn? And the third criteria that I have to answer to myself to become a good motivator of people is what drives them? What motivation drives them? Are they going towards something? I want to go back to how I was in high school. I want to go back to being like my sister or brother or mother, okay? Or is it a fear that drives them away? I don't want to get sick like my friend got, so I'm going to change my life. Okay, so I have to evaluate. So fear drives us that a lot of times we become an away person. We're going away from that fear. So fear can become good if we use it right and we don't let it dictate our EAM. So going back to happiness, happiness is not an accident, nor is it something you wish for. Happiness is something that you design, and that design comes through the game plan that you to see. You know how sad is it for the people you see that have money, but they studied economics so they could make all that money, but they didn't study happiness. And the greatest source of unhappiness for people comes from their self-talk, comes from their inside. And so you have to get this art. Happiness is this art of getting joy from what you are, what your substance is. And so that's why I encouraged all of you last week that you take a journal, and an organized journal, and you begin to write in there every day something that you did right, something that you accomplished that day, your victory, for lack of a better term, because that victory will drive you to be successful the next day. Because 100 things can go wrong, and 100 things probably go wrong, but 100 things go right. But what do we remember out of a day? We remember the things that go wrong. It's just the way we're wired, I guess. So we consciously have to unwire ourselves to look at that. So happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It's something you design right now. And so with that in mind, I'm going to run down to this little list. And now I can just hear you, Dave, when I say list.
Well, how long?
Well, it's 10 essentials for good health and wellness. So here I broke it into physical.
39 minutes to do this.
All right. Number 1, physical. Breathe deeply. You know, when I go to Dr. Fahn, he begins to get me set up for my stress reduction or my circulation treatment or whichever. Like, you know, I went in to see him Wednesday. I said, you know, Doc, I think I'm really having a little bit of depression today because, you know, I miss my brother, I miss my mom, and so I went in, and you know, the first thing he does when he gets me up on the table, he says, "How you feeling today?" And I told him, I said, "I think I need you to give me a little boost in that." And he goes, "Okay," and so he put the micro healing filaments in the right place to boost my brain serotonin and to bring up my endorphins and that. And I rested for about 40 minutes in there, came out, had the stress reduction treatment, felt really good. But he always says, breathe deeply. Get the toxins out of your body. Let your lungs fill deep down and hold it in, and then exhale the toxins and the stress. So number 1 is let's breathe deeply. Now, although I'm not drinking it right now, Dave, because you know I told you, I said I ran out of the car and I left my water in there. But I've made a point during this time is to drink my Penta water, drink my rainwater that I've got from Beyond Organic, and I'm drinking more and more water. So it's nature's best beverage. Not only quenches the thirst, but as we've talked about a lot of times, it enhances your energy because it increases the chemistry of your body, what it does. It increases transportation of fluids and nutrition through the body and waste products out of the body. The third one is to sleep peacefully. Everybody needs the rest and repair that comes from a regular sleep routine. Making that room dark, keeping it cool enough, so you don't overheat. And getting into that nice restful REM sleep. And what we have to understand about sleep is as we age, we lose some of that REM sleep. We lose that restful sleep unless we're involved in an exercise program. So number 4, I'm going to get to these eventually, is eat nutritiously. I personally believe in supplementation. I believe supplementation is important for you so that you fortify what you do, because you go through so much stuff in a day, stress-wise. But we need to feed both the body and the mind with healthy, nourishing food for life. Whether that's through the supplements we take, whether it's through the food choices we make, we have to plan that. We can't fill our body with sugars the whole time. We can't fill it with processed food. We can't fill it with prepared things. We have to make sure that we get the body to be able to, support the healthy lifestyle we want. Number 5 is to enjoy being active. And to me, the ability to enjoy that activity begins with that strength training program. When I look at people who have lost that quality of life, or I look better yet, I look at those 80-year-olds that come to me and we restore a certain quality of life, that restoration or that lack of vigor in your life comes from that you're not strong enough to maintain it. See, you're not strong enough to breathe deeply. You're not strong enough to have the energy to go through the day. So we want to get an active lifestyle. So you move on. Right now I see that, yoga and those types of things are very, very, very hot, for lack of a, not hot yoga, but very hot, and they're very popular. Okay, and I support that 100% to do yoga and Pilates and that. But they're not the cure-all. Just like what I'm telling you, that if I'm telling you to strength train, that's not the cure-all for everything. You have to do other things with that so that what you build and that is functional. So those people that take yoga, I have a lot of my members that used to train 3 days a week with me. They take yoga 2 days a week now, or 3 days a week. Well, with their routines, number 1, from a time management standpoint, we had to come up with a realistic game plan. But I understand what the benefit they're getting in going to that yoga class is. So we've done 2 things. If they still want to keep the frequency up, we tone down the number of exercises they do. But most of them, I make the recommendations like this. I say, listen, you're golfing, you're playing tennis, you're going to yoga twice a week. Let's only train 1 day a week. Let's just make sure it's quality training. It's a benefit. See, that's an active lifestyle. It's balance. There's balance to what they're doing. So that aspect of it, I think, is very, very important to add in. And if you come talk to me, I'm going to be telling you that you should start with a basic strength training program. Now, on that note, I should get a little promotional announcement, because we haven't talked any at all about it. And that is that currently at Bodez Personalized Fitness, we have a great promotion going on. It is $13 down, $13 a month for your first 3 months. Now, it's not a 90-day membership, okay? I just want to be very clear about that. This is a membership that allows you to choose where you want to end up in the club. So what you do is, for your first 3 months, it's $13 down, $13 a month. Then you're going to fall into a membership program that's either $29.50 a month and you train independently, $49.50 a month because you make a long-term commitment to us and you have our supervised exercise and our Body by Science, or $59.50 because you want a shorter-term membership, but there is a commitment to it of 12 months total time. So that's what we're doing from the standpoint of our memberships are concerned. Just being very forthright on us. Why are we more than the $10 class? Because we deliver more. I asked my staff in the staff meeting at the end of the year of 2012, I said, let's make a list of the things we can do and the things we do that make us worth $59.50 a month. Why would you pay 6 times the amount of money that you can have a Planet Fitness? Well, here's the reasons why. It's our free guest fee policy. It's what we do with our people when they're 1 time a month and one-on-one. It's all those little things and the nature of how my staff does it. So those things are what make the difference. So if you're looking to get in, and I think what I did, I'll do the same thing that I did last week, and that's this. If you come in today or tomorrow to see me, and you say, hey, Tasso, I heard you on WNDB, and I heard your radio show Fitness Friday, and you know what I heard you say? I heard you say that you'd give me a 90-day assurance plan. And here's the 90-day insurance plans. It's this. You could do the $13 down, $13 a month membership. At the end of 90 days, at the end of 60 days, actually, you have to tell me I'm going to stay or not stay. Okay? So at 90 days, your membership will stop. You will have invested about $82, $72 in the membership for 3 months of personalized service, supervision. Okay? There's no deal better than that, but that's a WNDB exclusive that you have to say, I heard you on your radio show, and I want that $13 down, that $13 a month for the first 3 months, but I want your 90-day assurance. Now, at 60 days, you'll declare, I'm staying or I'm not staying. You're going to give us 30 days notice to cancel the membership. So that's how we set it up. Now, the sixth thing on my list transitions into emotional, which I think when you do the physical things right, you eat right, you breathe deeply, you get that, you have that stressful moment, you got to get it out of you. You just got, sometimes my younger daughter goes to me, she goes, we'll be driving along and I'll be at a traffic light and I'll go, and she'll go, Dad, what was that? And I go like, just let the day out. Just let the day out. Get rid of it. So let's go into the emotional part of this. Emotional. Give and receive love. Offer and accept the greatest gift. And you can enhance your immune system, believe it or not. Because what does it do? It gets rid of stress. Two little stories of this. This morning when I was talking to Michelle Paoli, who was my manager for 7.5 years, and she has her own business down in St. Pete, I called her for her birthday. When I was talking to her, I said to her, I said, you have to learn to receive from your clients. It's a hard thing for us who are givers, who are caregivers from the standpoint of what we do as fitness professionals. But you have to learn to receive. And I said, the one thing that I know you do too often is you give yourself away too cheap. She's one of the finest people I know from the standpoint of how she motivates people, how she cares about people, her knowledge of what she does, what she's accomplished, and sharing the experience accomplished. And if you think you can go get a personal trainer like that for $20, it's ridiculous. I told her, I said, you should be charging $75, $80 per session for what you do. And so I told her, I said, you have to learn that though. You have to, because what we have to be as trainers in this give and receive, we can give and receive love, but here's how we give it. We give it in darkness or we give it in light. Okay? We shed light on you and warm you and motivate you to go forward in your goals and dreams, or we shed darkness on you. And sometimes as we try to share that light, we become dark because we forget what we're there for. So I constantly have to come to myself and say, take that big deep breath, let that day out, get that workout in, drink that water, eat right, and then go give to other people. So some days I find myself going like, okay, I need to be a half hour late going in because I need to get a little more rest. Right. Number 7. I'm already number 7, Dave, and I only have plenty of time. Number 7 is be forgiving. When you let go of old grudges, your hands are open to accept feelings of peace. When you start to let go of these things, we can, like it's, I'm not sure I really like the law firm, but Morgan & Morgan law firm, I think it is. I can't remember, forthepeople.com. He talks about, I can't tell you the number of people that have gone where someone's died in an accident, and I find out these people hadn't talked in a long time. I think that's horrible. I think that one of the best things you can do, because you know what, when you do that, whether you're right or wrong, it really doesn't matter. If you want the last word in an argument, get the last word in the argument by saying you're sorry. Okay? That'll give you the last word. Ask for forgiveness. Give forgiveness. You feel good because you know what? If nothing else, if you want to put it to your ego, you became the bigger person. You became the bigger person because you said, okay, I'm not going to carry this banner. I'm not going to fight with this person. And you know what? You may be doing it to people that have done you wrong, but you know what? You don't carry that. It goes back to light and darkness. You don't carry that darkness in your heart. And see, you can work out. I've seen a lot of people that were workout animals, but they were workout animals because they were mad at the world. Well, listen, they never were, going back to our topic of happiness. Remember, you got to learn how to be happy with what you've got while you're pursuing what you want. And you, to do that, to be able to work out hard, you have to have everything out of you stress-wise. Part of working out is to get rid of that stress. What have we talked about? Go to Dr. Fahm for stress treatments. Breathe deeply, get rid of that stress. Work out. One of the reasons of working out intensely is it gets you breathing hard. You get all that stuff out of you. So, number 7 is to be forgiving. Number 8 is to practice gratitude. It is to be thankful. You know, when you're thankful, it releases stress. It makes room for greater happiness and health. You know, as I alluded to just a minute ago, one of the toughest things for people who are in my industry to do is I see great people who are great trainers is they have trouble accepting from people. And if they don't do that, if they don't receive, if they don't get on the side, because it has to be a balance. We give and we receive. You know, a light bulb gives off light, but what's it received to give off that light? It receives electrical current. We've got to be plugged in, and we got to have all the circuits flowing so that we can receive the energy to put out good energy. So what happens is when we receive gratitude, you know, when we practice gratitude, and we do that on a regular basis, we feel better from that standpoint. And I realize this is sort of getting touchy-feely kind of deal, but, you know, I think it's really important. I don't think you could look at total health, total wellness. It's going back to the Greek philosophy. You know, you don't just take care of the body. How many people, you know, they have great bodies, but they're just morons. You know, it's like they're just idiots, you know. But unfortunately, what we've become as a society, the younger generation, you know, I've seen a huge shift in the last 10 years in youth ministry. And I see never have I seen it so prevalent where, like, in a specific case, more of a generalization, but some girls will be talking to me, oh, that guy's so hot. And one of the girls will say, yeah, but he's really a jerk. And they'll go like, yeah, but he's so hot. Yeah. Our culture has changed our children to where, listen, it's about what he looks like or what he has, and it's not about who he is. And as a young culture, they've lost the identity of who they are. As athletes, you know, I look at athletes, and I want to know who they are. I want to know if they have the fortitude to go through tough times. So there's a lot of athletes I don't get to train because they won't work out hard like I want them to work out, because I think that tells me who they are. It tells me what their character is and what it's about. It's only about how they look, because we can sit in a weight room and we can lift weights and make our bodies look great anytime we want. But you know what? Are we good? Are we compassionate? Those are the things I want to know about those guys. And I find out the guys that can't hang in and work hard, where it's not motivated by good, it's motivated by anger, those people aren't as successful in life is what I've noticed. The kids that I've seen that have made it to the big time, made it to the NFL, the NBA, you know what? They worked out because they had these goals. They had these things pulling them they wanted to successfully do. Number 9 is to develop acceptance. If you can't change it, accept it and move on. Because as you get further away from it, worry about that situation will shrink and your serenity will grow. So, you know, it may not be that we're happy with what the situation is. I'm not saying you've got to say, well, that's good, it's right. But sometimes you just got to move on. A great example would be the election that just came on. You know, we had an election. Did that election go the way I would like to see it go? No, it didn't, quite frankly. Okay? But you know what? We move on from that. I accept it, and I develop my business plan and everything I do within the guidelines that are dictated to me by that. I'm not going to worry about it. There's some people going out there still angry about what the election results are. You can't be angry about what they are. All you can do is look forward and say, here's what I can change in the future, and I can accept what we have here and move on. And I certainly don't want to accept some of the things that come in, but you know what? Our job is to keep up the standard that we want, and to try and move more people to it. We obviously didn't have enough people that thought the way we thought. The final one is one that will become controversial to some people. It's spiritual, and it's to develop a relationship with God, to nurture the spiritual aspect of your life to achieve complete well-being. Now, I understand that your God may be different than what my God is. Your God may be different than what the Christian God is. But everybody has to develop that spiritual part that defines, you know, when I talk to, like on Tuesday night, we're getting ready to go through a hiring session at Bodez. Before we even start to consider hiring a person, I want them to know what we're getting into. But one of the very first things I do with them is this concept of teaching them about philosophy, attitude, actions, results, and culture. Our philosophy is how we look at the world and how we look at things. You know, that thought process that we have is going to determine what our attitude is. So when things happen to us, the way we will respond to those things is our attitude. Now that attitude is going to give rise to our actions. If I have a bad attitude, I'm probably going to get in a fight or I'm going to argue. But when I have an attitude, that attitude is going to dictate what my actions are. What am I going to do? The things I do will present results to us. Those results then will develop a culture of lifestyle for us. And that culture of lifestyle is how we then live. Well, the culture I want at Bodez is that we understand our philosophy as knowledge training principles. We understand that we're not going to be the hard body center of the world. We understand that we're not going to be the greatest group exercise place in the world because we don't have group exercise. But our attitude is a great attitude towards helping people, working with people, and believing in what we do. And by the result of that, what happens is we take actions to support the people who are members of our club. By supporting them, they get results. By results, their lifestyle becomes a healthy lifestyle, and they develop a culture that they're happier with who they are. That's what we try to explain to people. So with that being said, $13 down, $13 a month for the first 3 months. Pick your membership after that point. And I know we've got to go to break. Did I do it? Wow. I'm going to come back and I have about 17 minutes left over because I know we got to take a break. I see you preparing all the commercials over there. So the phone number is 672-6464. Call, make your appointment so we can take you on a little tour, show you our club, and get you involved in the $13 down and $13 a month program. The second thing is that we'd be happy to take your phone calls at 239-0033, 239-0033. We'll answer your questions or take your comments on the air. Thank you. We'll
Isn't it romantic?
Hey guys, here are our top 5 reasons to visit Masterpiece Jewelers for Valentine's Day.
Number 5.
Centrally located at the corner of Bevel and Clyde Morris by Publix.
Number 4.
We make Valentine's Day shopping easy with our free deluxe gift wrapping, which includes free super soft stuffed animal, plus free full-sized greeting card, plus free heart-shaped box of chocolates, all nestled in a beautiful gift bag, and all free with your purchase.
Number 3.
21% off, so it's not only a wonderful gift, but also a great value.
Number 2.
Park at our door. You can be in our store before some other guy even walks into the mall from the parking lot.
Number 1.
We know jewelry, so you don't have to with our exceptional value and selection.
So let us help you create that special Valentine's moment at Masterpiece Jewelers, 1500 Bevel Road by Publix. Isn't it romantic?
Arr. Gather the little pirates and head to the Ocean Walk shops for the Pirate Invasion 2013. Arr. Saturday, February 9th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The pirate party includes live music, a pirate makeover experience, a kids' pirate hat craft area, and an army full of rowdy, funny, picture-loving pirates. Arr. Don't miss the pirate bead toss every hour starting at 4 p.m. And Ocean Walk's restaurants will offer great food and drink specials. Over 21? Pay just $20 and take the Rum Runner Challenge and taste 4 of Ocean Walk's restaurants' special twist on every pirate's favorite drink, then vote for your favorite. Arr. So gather your mateys and head to Ocean Walk for Pirate Invasion 2013, Saturday, February 9th. Arr. Sponsored by the Ocean Walk Shops and Black Crow Event Group. For event info, call 386-255-9544 or visit oceanwalkshops.com. Arr.
Are you afraid of the number 13? Or are you afraid of being unhealthy, overweight, overtired, and just plain fat and worn out? Well, 13 is now your lucky number. Tasso here from Bodez Personalized Fitness in Ormond. That's right, $13 can change your health, energy, and body appearance. $13 starts your fitness membership and $13 a month for the first 3 months of your membership. We'll use our Smart Start Fitness program and our Fitness Passport to begin your program and set you on the path of better health, energy, and fitness. My Bodez team and I will coach you, assist you, and guide you to success. Call 672-6464. That's 672-6464 to set your no-obligation consultation. Remember, $13 down, $13 per month for the first 3 months to start your fitness journey. My staff and I are motivated and committed to you getting results. That's the difference you'll find from the moment you walk in our program and begin your journey. So call 672-6464 to start your fitness program with only $13 down and $13 a month for the first 3 months. And of course, all of our memberships have a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee.
Call 239-0033 for Fitness Friday and your host, Tasso Kyriakis. Here's Tasso.
All right. No? Okay. All right. I'm back. I've had to wet my whistle because I was talking. I think I talked for 38 minutes straight there for a minute. That's Pinta water with cranberry pomegranate herbal tea in there. Put a little taste into my water. No, actually that's a Shackley product. I'm all over the board on stuff I've got nutritionally. Okay, so Dave, we pretty much have established that we have Bodez Personalized Fitness. And again, I want to remind people we'll take your calls at 239-0033. But we pretty much
This being February 1st, people are either still holding on to their New Year's resolution and working it, or are they giving it up by now?
Well, that was why I wanted to spend a lot of time on these 10 essentials and why I talked about happiness and why I talked about journaling, because I think those things are very important. I think creating that journal is very important. So, I know I didn't talk specifically to it because I think we get tired of hearing people talk to us about New Year's resolutions and goal setting and that, but really it's about designing and creating your future, and that's really what you do this time of year. Now, the second thing we're having happen now is we're moving into National Heart Month, Heart Health Month, and we'll spend a little time this talking about, and that's sort of a nice segue because on I'm going to give a heads up here that around the 15th of February, we will begin to promote a 10 to 12 day research project with a new program called Alive. Now, the reason we're doing it, I'll be very forthright with you, is I need people's opinion on this because I'm a personal trainer. That's one of the hats I wear. But I've been educated for the last 18 months in the field that focuses on the potential to completely reverse disease. Now, there's only a handful of personal trainers who've come to understand the science. And what I'd love to do is I'd love to use that. I've been talking about the Alive program for quite a while now. And I think I have enough knowledge and experience to move forward with it. So the question I want to ask people is, what specifically would you like to change about the way your body looks, feels, or functions? Because from there, we could turn it. If you could have your life change, how would you want it to be different? If you started a program on Monday and committed to it for 8 weeks, what do you see happening in that mirror? Unless you make that change, unless you start that program, are you ever going to change those things in your life? That's a deep thought that I think you want to put into your thought process right now, because I think it moves you. Because I think there's a thing that we want to make sure that you understand the potential you have. This year is a lot about potential, and a lot about changing your life, and I think that it's this time of year where we really make the point to get people tuned into themselves. And I don't want you guys to get caught up in some I can't kind of attitude, because remember the 4 points that I tried to bring forward in the last 6 months of last year. Number one, there's no single food, supplement, exercise, or exercise device that will in of itself be a solution. Although every day when you turn on the TV, there's many of these solutions proposed to you. Okay? The second part, you're not a victim of your metabolism. You are the creator of it. And I know I think it was the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal ran a thing that said, and the authors had these myths of health and fitness that we accept, like eating breakfast that increases your metabolism and improves your health. And the author talked about there's no real research that validates that. Okay, so and I would tend, maybe I would be more insulted by that comment a couple years ago, but in the studying I've been doing, I think we have to look at people who approach their fitness and health in two different categories. People who are healthy and are going to benefit from a fitness regimen where breakfast is essential, but also people who are sick, they're unwell. Maybe that's sick that they have a sneeze or a cold, but their energy's just not where it should be. Their hormones are imbalanced. Their immune system's knocked down. They're stressed out to the max. Those people really are not what you'd call a fit person. So, one of the neatest people I've met in the last 2 years has been this guy, Jordan Rubin. And I was talking, had an interesting conversation. Jordan is the author of a book called The Maker's Diet. And in this Maker's Diet, he really talks a lot about fasting and intermittent fasting. We've talked with Dr. Daniel Pompa on this topic. And so I really believe that in the next 3 to 4 months, I'm gonna bring a program out that's going to talk to the fact of let's eat in a smaller frame of time. Let's try that. And you know who I think is going to be the biggest category of this for is menopausal women. I think when we take the Alive program and put it to the menopausal women with the Alive protocols that we have for cardiovascular training, it being National Heart Fitness Month, it's going to start me on my conversation that we've been sold a bill of goods that aerobic exercise is the only way to improve your heart health. Because now, when I said that back in 1980 something, we started this program, people would go, that's controversial and ridiculous. Now it's not as controversial because there's so much research that's been done that shows that intense, brief strength training makes remarkable changes to the body. Now in the last 3 years, we've seen this impact of short burst interval training to make people change their cardiovascular efficiency and the whole role of their metabolism. We've seen it over the last 18 months at Bodez by using our PowerFit protocol and our Live protocols on our cardio coaching program. Now, the cardio coaching program is a program that's not independent in of itself. It's a program you attach to one of our memberships. And in that program, what you're doing is you're working out from the standpoint of you're not spending a half hour, an hour doing cardiovascular training. You're doing tops 14 minutes. But in that 14 minutes, you may have 5 intervals of 10 seconds where you burst and you step on it from the standpoint of how intense you can be, and you raise your metabolism as a virtue of doing this. So you're not a victim of your metabolism. You are the creator of it. Number 3 is food is fuel, and thermic meals from the most natural sources possible are essential for supportive nutrition. And if I could have one wish of what I could accomplish in 2013 to improve people's health, Dave, here would be that wish, is that I take all the diet aspect of things out of our eating. I'm currently eating by a system that I'm utilizing fasting 2 days a week, and I'm eating these thermic meals and a simplified formula of how we eat. We're taught to eat in fats, carbohydrates, proteins, and that type of thing. Well, I've simplified it a little bit. One of the trainers on my round table has a unique system, I think. He takes those 4 or 5 food groups of the macronutrients and he puts them into a system that says, look, we're going to have lean proteins and what they bring to the table with them, and we're going to have fibrous carbs. Now those are going to be, some are going to be fruits, some are going to be vegetables, right? Okay, but what we're going to do is by having that, we're going to have a serving of those, and not a measure. It's not saying a serving in 1 cup or a half cup. Right. We're going to have those fibrous carbs at every meal, and it's going to basically take up about 1/3 to 1/2 of our plate. And then we're on a quarter of that plate, we're going to put this lean protein. And then on what's left, we're going to put our starchy carbs. We're going to have that sweet potato, that baked potato, that fruit that we like. We'll be able to have it. Why practice? We've always talked about moderation and how you eat. Why practice that I can't have a piece of pizza? Why practice that it's bad for me to have fruits because I'm on a high protein diet? Why is that leapt into our system? Why do we have people going and taking in shots so they can suffice themselves with 500 calories a day so that when they lose the weight, they gain it back over the next couple of years? I challenge us to when we have Take Shape for Life, which starts people at about 800 calories a day. But the end point is not to stay on 800 calories a day. The end point is to be able to eat 2,700 calories a day by virtue of changing your eating habits and the choices you make and learning about these natural sources of food that are supportive nutrition, and not always having to weigh and measure and journal what you eat. Because let's face it, in the weight loss industry, I defy any weight loss professional out there at any program anywhere to call me if you have a journaling system and tell me that people are 100% honest on their journals. They aren't. They sit in their car, and when they come into the institution, they've sat in the car for 10 minutes and written what they ate during the course of that week. And that's not a fact. That's not how a journal's supposed to be used. A journal's supposed to be done as you're doing it, because that makes it more accurate. We don't care if you did it perfect. We care that you noted what you did, so we can tie a cause and effect to what you have done. And Dave, the final thing of the 4 points I've been trying to present over the last 6 months is this: in order to facilitate optimal change, exercise must be a strategic combination of aerobic and anaerobic stimulus, and the body must move through space. You have to have a attention towards cardiovascular aerobic exercise, and you have to have a stimulus that maintains and progresses your strength, your musculature, which is the metabolism of the body. Those are the 4 points that I think are vital, that will not do too much changing over the course of the next 2 years. Those really outline what I plan to communicate through this radio show, through my seminars I do this year, through events that we run, and through the memberships that we offer at Bodez Personalized Fitness, which, by the way, you can join now for $13. You can have your first 3 months be, so February, March, and April will be $13 a month, okay? And then you will go into whatever membership you want based on the term.
Insurance guarantee.
If you listen to WNDB and you come tell me, hey, I heard you on WNDB today and I heard about your $13 membership and I want that 90-day assurance that for 90 days, at 60 days, you'll say, I like this place and I'm staying, or I don't like this place and I'm not staying, and you'll pay your last $13 and you'll be gone by the end of the month. It's that easy. So it takes all the risk. Listen, people, you're sitting out there and you have this experiential learning memory that said, I failed at fitness, I failed at weight loss, I failed at this. You have a fear of failure. Take that fear of what happens if you don't make the change in your life. You know, I don't want to tell you to close your eyes because you're driving in your car, maybe you're going to run into somebody. But when you get a chance, sit somewhere and close your eyes and think, if you don't make that change in your life, only you can identify what that change in life is. Remember, you're going to set your course to happiness with your dreams and your registry of what you say on that piece of paper for yourself. But if you do that, you're going to find what you want. And now sit when you know what you want, which is a very hard question. But sit with that, close your eyes and say, let me envision my life 6 months, 1 year, 5 years from now, if I don't make this change. You know, Karen, my girlfriend and fiance, is going down to visit her brother's son who's in the hospital. He's a biscuit shy of 500 pounds, and his lungs have collapsed because of inactivity and that. Now, what happens when you make the right changes in your life, and what happens when you make the wrong changes in your life? Your eating, your movement, those 4 points we talked about. There's no single food, supplement, exercise, or exercise device that will in of itself change your life. Although you will be presented with the shake away, you'll be presented with the glider, the rider, and all those other things that they got out there that they make $50 and $60 million out of, and it doesn't work. You'll be the green coffee beans. All those things are going to be given to you. Okay? You're not a victim of your metabolism. You are the creator of your metabolism. And think of food as a fuel, and thermic meals from the most natural sources possible are the essence of supportive nutrition to give you back your vim and vigor, to give you back your lifestyle, to give you the power to do the things you want to do in your life. And in order to facilitate those changes, the fourth thing, to optimally facilitate these, exercise must be a strategic combination of aerobic and anaerobic stimulus, asking the body to move through space. Now, that all being said, you can go out today and join a $10 fitness center that you ultimately will just put into your budget and let it be detracted from your account every day of your life for as long as you remain a member. Or you can make the investment in you to people who care about helping you achieve your goals. The phone number to do that is 672-6464. We look forward to being the people that can help you with your fitness and health. We desire that. That's what we walk around for. Remember I told you earlier in the show, what we want to do is we want to bring light into your life. We bring light by bringing energy to you, by giving you a system. Remember, 4 reasons people fail in fitness centers. Nobody cares about them. We have service and supervision. Second thing, they get hurt. Why? Because they go into the gym, whatever gym they join, they want to try and get on every machine there. Okay? Third thing, they don't have a system. We have a proven system for success. How else could we start in an 800 square foot room and have the club that we now have if we didn't deliver results? Okay? And the final thing is they get bored with the program because they're not getting results. So there's not enough variety created in it. Variety comes from success. You don't need variety. If I told you do this 100 times every day, you did it 100 times every day, and it would miraculously did everything for you, you just keep doing that. You wouldn't need variety. You would need to be 50 of these things and 50 of those. So with that said, 30 seconds left. Thank you very much for joining us on Fitness Friday. This is Tasso Kyriakis of Bodez Personalized Fitness Ormond Beach. Please join us at Bodez. $13 down, $13 for the first 3 months. Get your membership started. God bless you. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your life.
Daytona Beach, first in local news. Fox News updates at the top of every hour. Online at newsdaytonabeach.com.